Okay, back on. I shorted out. I had it tipped upside down last night, and this shorted out to this resistor, I think, on one of these sides. I don't remember. So I think that's 470 ohms. Like, only thing I did is disconnected this, cut this big resistor down there. I think I made a mistake where that's at. I thought it was in between those two peaking coils. I don't think it is anymore. It's very hard to follow that stuff way down there. I have no more action on the screen. No more action. I got brightness all the way up. Contrast is this color, I think. That's all the way up. Volume. I got sound action. But no more picture. No more picture on this thing. I don't know if it's worth working on. I would like to discover what's wrong with it. It's a pain in the ass. It does have high voltage. It did. I didn't get nothing around here. I thought I'd get something coming up here. I didn't see nothing, so I thought, okay, no high voltage, but I do have high voltage. I want to take it away from the picture tube. I don't want to cause any cracks. Okay. I think that was on the video. Okay. I think it was rated to have 6,000 volts there. So what did I do? I don't know. This I think it still reached 470 ohms. I'll measure it. But, you know, it's not a lot of air, room for air to pass by. So brightness is up all the way. Now my sound is dropping. So I'm going to hook up that V and K, K and B 415 or whatever it is, and see if I can get some of the. And I smell that. Well, I was just shorting it out, so, or drawing an arc, so I could smell that high voltage arcing smell. Okay, I'm just gonna pause this camera for a moment and take a pill. So apparently this thing only has one IF, and it's right to the video amplifier, which is here. Video amplifier is here. So it's got one IF down there, a 6 CB6, I believe. It shoots to here. But it also has another IF. I don't know if it's in that one or that one. So it has two IFs for the sound and one for the video, which I thought was kind of crazy. But I didn't even think about worrying about this shield on here shorting out, but sure as heck it did. Right to there. I'll check that. And I kind of checked this coil. I'm not sure which one it is. I think it's the one that's working with your 6T8. So I have this hooked up to that resistor. I think it's yellow, purple, brown. 2K scale, 423 ohms. So I think it's okay. I'll try to replace it soon. Yeah. So apparently somehow I got recording vertically up. I didn't realize it. So so if we follow back from the cathode, this is, what did I read? 6,000 volts, I think it says. This has to be in kitty wampus for it to work. I have to replace that tube socket. I hope it ain't nothing special. It's corroded. So we got 0 volts to 120 volts there. So 0 volts, I think, is full brightness, because then you're running your current through your tube. So I will check on these voltages and see what I get there. I think first I should replace this. I gotta track that down and replace it. Track this one down and replace it. When I checked this last night, I had about a negative 2.2 volts. I'm guessing, I know it was a 2 in front of the decimal, and I know it was negative. So it's 2 point something. So I think that's acceptable. At least it's not gonna, at least it's not whatever you call red plating, or I don't think those red plate, they're too low a voltage, but or current or something. But okay, so looking back in the history, you got your tuner scooting in. I'll shine on this variable trimmer. I forgot to on the last video. So it comes into one IF, and then it comes out here. Now this IF here continues on for the sound takeoff. So you get 2 IFs for the sound and only one for the video and synchronization stuff. That one, wait, this one comes from the top here down. It's also automatic gain control stuff. It's feeding the control grid voltage, I believe, there. So also the signal is here. Here's the one peaking coil, I believe. And then your 6AW8 half, so as your video output. So I thought that resistor was in between here, but now I think it's this one. What did I measure? I'll measure that again. I gotta find this A. I think this A is on the switch. Somewhere's here. I don't remember. I don't even know if I ever found it. It does some switching with the antenna too, so I don't know what that's about. If it uses it for AM also, it wouldn't be a correct match, I wouldn't think, but I think anything goes with AM. So this might be this resistor. It's only 2-watt resistor, I think I see. Oh, and that one other deal, that 470 ohms, where's that? Where did I think that was? I thought that was around the hell is it around? The 68? Where's the 68? Well, I'll have to look for that. That's on the B plus, I think. I know it's got 130 some volts or something. Probably this B plus. That's radio. Maybe this one, B plus. But the 470 ohms, I kind of thought I knew where it was last night, but no, I don't remember. This is maybe the coil that I may have shorted it to. There's a 470 ohms here, but it may be there or it may not be there. But I don't think that's the one I shorted out. Here's a 470 ohms here. This is the one I think I shorted out. And I try to check this. I got a reading here and a reading here. I believe I'll have to recheck it. I got reading on 2 prongs, and I also got reading on other 2 prongs that were about, I think, about 5 ohms. I'm not sure. I'd have to, I don't even know where my settings were, because I was I had the unit upright, and or upside down, I think, upright, and I got smoke coming through, and I thought, oh shit, now what? So I think it was this one, around a 18K. I think it's actually around a 15K. So this is another throw me off situation. I got to study this more. So if it's this 470 ohms and it has a 15K, this I think says 18. And Where the hell was I looking for a 22K? I think I wanted to look for a 22K around one of these peaking coils. Yeah, right here. I don't know if I never identified that either, but I think if I get this capacitor replaced, get this capacitor replaced, then I can know I'm okay having it on and testing stuff. I got to get that B&K, was a 514 hooked up to it and try to really hash out how to work that again and hook that up maybe to the antenna input and see what I get at the 6CB6, wherever that is. Where'd it go? Okay, send a signal in here and see what I get here at this control grid. See if I can, if this is amplifying, working. I should check on the B pluses and this kind of stuff. I don't think there's any important capacitors around here. When I did look, I think things are going to be plate capacitors, ceramic. You know, like this 4.7 picofarads or something. So it ain't going to be, so this could probably is a plate capacitor. Probably not to worry. So I don't know. But I have to get the, is it K and B, B and K, whatever, hooked up to in front of the tuner. I'll first hook it up at the antenna input and see what I get. Then I'll go on, if it's, this ain't functioning, then I'll get in front of here. But I think my problem, I think I should be able to get through here. I don't know if the automatic gain control is being effed up. I might have to pull this 1 meg or pull something this way and use the biasing on the unit to change the biasing of this control grid and the tuner. Imagine the automatic gain control. Here it is right here. This is probably a plate capacitor, but there could be some tuber capacitors, some green ones hanging out there. This is probably a plate capacitor. Hopefully this is not. This is a tuber capacitor, 0.15. That has to be replaced now. And then I can play around with the automatic gain control and stuff, but I don't like TVs that start smoking, especially if you're trying to monkey around with them and just learn something, and then all of a sudden you got something smoking below. This is past tense stuff. I think I was comparing different kinds of tubes. This is for your what, 10 meters, 20 meters, 40 meters transmitting tube. This is a 6L6 and a 6DQ6. I was comparing stuff at one time. I don't know why. I don't know what I was up to at that point. But anyways, I'll go back to the TV here. So I think that 470 ohm was, wherever it was, by the 68. I think it was this one. So we should have 3 5 prongs on it. We'll go see. Looks like 4 to me. 4 prongs. This is a B plus. It's got 100 some volts there. That's that one. What did that measure? That measured 355 ohms. Also disconnected. So that may be decreased value. But what was it? Maybe 8,000 something? I'm not sure. Not with really getting in here and following stuff and drawing out a little map so I can remember. I got to follow that to the plate of the 6AW8 or whatever it's called. the video amplifier, wherever that, that's video stuff there. So it should lead to the B plus, the plate. That green one has to be replaced and that wax one down there. So those have to be replaced. I will do that. It's going to be kind of a moment to do that. I thought just with the AM radio missing, I would be able to get in there, but still that wax one is going to be troublesome. I didn't realize I'm recording vertically up. I don't like doing that. I think that really sucks. But I see my time counter's on the left hand side, and I know it's doing it. So got to figure out where this baby's at and replace it and see if there's any other trouble I may have caused by the shield of this hanging there. When I flipped it around, this was hanging up in this area, so I figured the shield is very jagged because it whips around a chassis part on the AM receiver tuner IF box. So this is it for now. Today is what, November 11th, 2025. This one can only hook up to the antenna input, which kind of sucks. I don't think I can go into... Wait a minute, what does this say? Green. Let's say grid. Grid. Blue, red, ground. What does that mean? Red, blue, and green. What the hell is it? Let's read this. Green gun, blue gun. I can't read it. It's autofocus to me. So I do have a video. So I try hooking this up to the video control grid, see what I get. I would assume I would put that color bars. I think I like the color bars the best. I'll hook this up for the hell of it and see what I get or don't get. So I'll hook it up to the control grid through a .047 and I'll just shut this off and try it for the heck of it. Last night when I was counting, I wonder if I was counting the wrong way on this tube socket. I'm going like 987. One is right here. Well, one is right here. I'm going 987. I'm looking for a 470K resistor, but the 470K resistor is way down here. So I'm gonna pause this. I had to turn it on for a moment. Okay, I got her hooked up. It's not gonna matter where that goes. I'm on video. I don't know what these. I'm just gonna flick all these on. What way's on? Up. Normal. Short. I don't know what that means. I'll put these all up. I don't know what I'm after here. I think I have to be on one of these though. Well, I don't really know what I'm doing, I guess, obviously. I'll plug it in, and so now I'm definitely hooked up to the 470K. Whether that's going to help me or not, I don't know. And I got this hooked up. Oops. Oh, shit. My goodness. So I got negative. Negative. What the hell? I got positive. I got it hooked up wrong. Oh my god. Hold on. Okay, I was switching things around. I was going to use this and it broke right away, so dime store garbage. So then I got this positive negative reverse, so it was a crying time. That's not hooked up, I don't think. Yeah, it is. I didn't disconnect it. Must be radio. So that's on this side of the 470 ohms hooks up to this coil. There's only 4 prongs. Probably should keep this away from the deflection coils. So there is some IF function here, obviously. This is, wait a minute. Okay, that's radio, phono. I don't want to keep switching that. I don't want to wreck the switch because the B plus passes through there. We got 127 volts. I think I have to hook this up differently. If I want to hook up to the video amp, I have to hook up to one of these. I think. I guess I'm not sure how to operate that. Go on. I don't think it matters how I hook up this here, because it's 300 ohms on balance, but this one, the right side seems to hook up to with the AC. So I thought I'd have red that way. I put on crosshash and sweep through. So you can always hear the sound coming through. It doesn't matter where I have this. So I guess I shouldn't be using equipment I'm not familiar with. I used this before, though. I had to sweep around here, around there. I don't know what that, nothing about those. RF, okay. Still nothing. Down towards 2. Contrast all the way up, brightness all the way up. I don't work with focus. I never used focus yet. Focus is the bottom one on this side, I think. So no brightness yet. It does have an ion trap. Where is that baby? Right there. Let me get the light on. And then we'll close it after that because I got nowhere. The ion trap is right here. Looks like one to me. Well, I have to flip this and check underneath real quick for the temperature of the flyback transformer. Got to whip a bunch of cables off of it and whip them to the floor and flip it. Okay, it's cool. So I had a meltdown once. Evidence is on here. I put a board down now. So this has two stuffed in it, and the third one is right here. I think it was too low quality. This one here, it seems like it has some like arcing carbon tracking on it. I noticed last night, so that's got to be replaced. Maybe if I could stick a 5 watt in there or 10 watt, if I can find a 5.6K. This one here, this one measures about 9K. This one measures, I don't remember. This is a brown, black, red. That's why I was comparing it on the other video to that one on top because of burnt or age or something. Brown, black, red. I don't think it matters if this drifted to 9. Maybe. It could. Okay, that's it. Orange Beginner's Corner. Is this number 6, I think. Vertically up.